Warning: the Karma Files, Paranormal, and Unexplained podcast episodes may contain explicit content and language and may not be suitable for young ears. Parental discretion is advised.
Have you ever had the feeling that you're being watched? Have you ever heard disembodied voices coming from seemingly nowhere? Have you ever been touched by unseen hands? Have those that have crossed over tried to communicate with you, trying to give you messages for their loved ones from the other side? Are you ever awakened at night by the sound of footsteps that stop right by your bedside? And have you seen objects move on their own accord? No? I have. I've always been a sensitive. My earliest memories as a child were trying to figure out who was a real person and who was spirit. I remember being scared of strangers and being afraid to go anywhere where there was a lot of people. I remember being called shy, but I was really just scared. And scared to tell anyone about what I was seeing and feeling. I used to spend a lot of time at my grandparents' place. They lived in the same city that we did, and so I saw them often. They had built a ranch with an orchard around it, and I loved to go visit there. But on the nights that I would spend the night and it got dark, that's when things would get very, very scary. I remember one particular night, I was laying on the couch alone in the dark, and I could hear marching, many people coming up the street. It sounded like an army. And they were coming closer and closer to the house. I was so scared, I just pulled the covers up over me. But I could still hear them, and it just got louder and louder. I just stayed under my blanket, hoping that it would shield me from whatever was coming. The loud marching continued all the way until I just fell asleep. And I was so relieved to wake up in the morning and find that the marching was gone. This would happen several more times when I would spend the night there. I never did find out what the marching was. I never asked anyone because I was afraid to tell them what I was hearing. Growing up Catholic, you never talked about spirits. Spirits were evil. So I kept it all to myself, hoping that things would change and I wouldn't hear the marching anymore. Still to this day, I have no idea what that marching was. And the only time I ever heard it was at my grandparents' house. That house was sold, and someone bought it and took the house to another location. I have no idea where that house went. Whether it was the house or the land that it was on, something was happening there when it got dark. Do you hear marching at night? If you do, maybe you're living in my grandparents' house. Sweet dreams.
At times, my life can seem like the scariest of nightmares. Believer or skeptic, I know the veil is thin between us and those on the other side. Do you experience the paranormal? If you don't, maybe you're the ghost. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Karma Files, Paranormal and Unexplained. We hope it was love at first fright. If you enjoyed being terrified by my stories, please haunt my DMs on Instagram or Facebook to let me know that you're dying for more. The links are in the show notes. Do you have a paranormal or unexplained story to tell? You can send me your stories to thekarmafiles@gmail.com. And if it gives me the chills, it might get featured on a future Karma Files episode. I would like to personally welcome you to my nightmares. I think you're going to like it here.